It's Tauziat near a camera, who must feel somewhat relieved that she's still in this competition, because she had to save 3 match points against her compatriot Tauziat yesterday, and she, poor lady, had the ball in the air, was serving at 6-5 on match point, and the umpire said play is suspended.
That was a very tense match. I mean, Sandrine Tauziat had beaten Monica Seles, and then to come back out and play a fellow country person was a very tall order, and she got a little edgy earlier on. However, apparently, I didn't see them, but at the end of the match they both walked into the dressing room absolutely worn out emotionally. Both of them, I think, were in tears. So I know when I saw Tauziat later, she was sort of hoping that she wouldn't have to play today. So maybe she was pleased that Pete Sampras took such a long time to finish off that match. I suppose the same is true for Aranxta Sanchez Vicario, because she was on until 9:30 last night playing a doubles, which is still not completed. Her partner, of course, is Martina Hingis.
But so far in the singles, she's been utterly untroubled and really blitzed past Mary Pierce in the quarterfinal 1 and 3. Straight sets all the way through. But it's to be the French lady to open. It's actually the oldest of the quarterfinalists, unseeded. Yes, a little gust of wind. Oh, goodness me, that's perfection to start the match.
That's a shot that is unique to Aranxta, that particular two-handed lob. Superb.
Lob 40.
3 break points, and the French competitor really not yet out of the dressing room.
Hi. 15-40.
The atmosphere a little quiet. Understandably, people have taken a break for tea after the previous epic on this court. Well put away in the end, and you really have to put them away against this opponent.
First service.
Pity, because it was a nice sliced approach.
First game.
There's Carlos Ramos announcing first game, and those keeping score here, of course, among them would have noted first break. Comfortable start for Aranxta Sanchez Vicario, who's seeded 8 in this championship and has been the runner-up to one Steffi Graf for the last couple of years. So, put in the modern language, she would see here a window of opportunity.
Absolutely, it is a chance to be taken. Well, it's an exciting finish, coming to an exciting finish, the tournament, both the men and the women. Nathalie Tauziat, 29, very experienced player, an awfully good grass court player. The highest ranking she ever got to was number 11, but pretty good at the moment, 22. And she has done awfully well lately on grass. She won the tournament in Birmingham a couple of weeks ago. She beat Venus Williams to great rapturous applause down in Eastbourne. And she's always done well at Eastbourne.
But 9 love against her in head-to-heads between these two.
It's a pretty awesome tally, that.
That's nice.
Well, she's looking totally in tune with herself. I mean, she may be a little stiff after all that tennis yesterday, but she spent a lot of time on the court, so she's perfectly comfortable from that respect. I mean, in the run.
15 all. $30, 15.
Didn't really get down to that return. Didn't miss by much, but it did miss.
I think it was out. Very close. So it's more out of it.
Yes, I'm not sure that's a word that should come into the vocabulary of an umpire, I think.
I noticed that too. That was pretty funny. It's not exactly I am sure.
See, I find her a frustrating player to watch, Tauziat, because she doesn't make sure so often, it seems to me. Definitely a lot more win than previously. Double fault per game. Chance missed.
It's the forehand down the line that has been the least comfortable shot for Aranxta recently.
Point for 3 love. And she's probably still noticing the chill of the afternoon, Sanchez Vicario.
Sanchez Vicario. Miss Sanchez Vicario leads 3 games to love first set.
And very simple for her so far. And she hasn't really been tested in this championship. Now, the worry is that when the challenge comes, she might not be ready for it.
I was wondering that she's won awfully quickly in several matches. Claire Wood early on, Gagliardi, Labatt, and then she absolutely annihilated Mary Pierce. So it is hard. It's hard to tell whether that's because she's in brilliant form or she hasn't quite had the opposition. Obviously, the first 3 rounds it seemed that the opposition might have been a little thin, but Mary hit the ball pretty well against her, and she didn't get anything for it. So it is a wee bit difficult to assess exactly how match tough Aranxta is, especially in view of the results she's had this year, which have been less than her usual standard. She hasn't won a tournament this year. Just as we look at Tauziat's results, Wiesner, that was a tough, always going to be a tough match to do with Wiesner as a good grass court player. And then, of course, that was that marathon match against Sandrine Test Tour de France.
Fifteen love. Thirteen love. 40 love. Forty 15. Game. Vicario. Miss Sanchez Vicario leads 4 games to love.
12 minutes of just making her presence felt and no need for anything more. And one can appreciate that Nathalie Tauziat had that long match yesterday, but she really does have to give it a go here.
Smart play, the low return, and then immediately lofting the next one. That's the hardest combination in tennis.
Now that's more like it. Good length on the approach and a good volley.
15 all.
Out.
13-15. 30 all.
Well, there was only one player doing the running then. The other was just controlling the rally.
Yeah, and Tauziat a beat late on most of her shots as well.
Oh, she very nearly got a racket on that. And there it was well played by Tauziat.
40-30.
Prelude to a court number 1 bow, perhaps. She gets into the match for the game.
Deuce.
Well, sadly for her, the only point of consistency is 1 double fault per game.
Advantage, Miss Tauziat.
Ginny Way corrects me, there were in fact 2 in her second service game.
Game, Miss Tauziat.
Generous applause for Tauziat. She needed it, and the match needed it.
Miss Sanchez Vicario leads 4-1 for set.
Great relief for Nathalie Tauziat to get a game there, helped by that forehand error of Aranxta Sanchez Vicario. And I know I mentioned earlier that the forehand down the line seems to be a shot that she's had some trouble with. We were talking about her lack of great success this year, because normally Aranxta has been the most consistent performer of all the players, and she would churn in results and win. She would just win tournament after tournament on the clay court season, and this year she did absolutely nothing. She had some very indifferent results, and her ranking slipped. She started the year at 3, and then it drifted down to number 6. And then in the French, she only got to the quarters this year, losing to Hingis. But the good news for Aranxta is that she played very well in Eastbourne on grass, and she didn't actually ever complete the final because of the bad weather down there. So she played a set, or pretty much a set, against Novotná, and they split it. But she's had plenty of good grass court tennis.
Net. First service.
Yes, on the line.
15 love.
Amazing attempt to get that.
15 all.
Slightly reckless forehand return that. I know Tauziat is anxious to get in. She's beginning to push a little too hard.
It's the best shot of the match so far.
Finally, this is a good connection from Tauziat, only to get a response which is even better. Just a superb shot.
Yeah, Miss Sanchez Vicario. Miss Sanchez Vicario leads 5 games to 1.
So Tauziat serving to stay in the first set. On 5. Yes.
What a return. Hardly any backswing. She stayed down so well and stayed hitting through the ball.
Yes.